So let's go back a few months. We talked a little bit in our first go around with getting this off the ground between Bryce Foster, Tunmise, and LJ.
Hmm.
What was your confidence level on each one of them leading up to their commitment?
Oh, um, Bryce. A few days before it, I put a crystal ball in. I knew a little bit. I knew it was starting to go our way a little bit, but I kind of just threw it in there as a guess because I had a weird feeling in my gut that it was just gonna keep going our way. So I was like, all right, if it goes in, it gets right. It's right. I mean, I haven't missed one that whole. I didn't miss that whole cycle. So I was like, if it misses, it misses. And I think it was like the night before or the 2 nights before, it was going A&M's way pretty big. So
Mm.
I kind of knew going into that one that was going to be ours. But at the time of the crystal ball, I was kind of clueless, to be honest, other than the one thing I had. LJ, I know we got him. I think he committed on the 4th. I think I knew on the 1st. And I think that's when most people started knowing. I think that's when apparently they think a lot of people thought that the Texas staff had told people at 24/7 and all that. Because immediately they believe as soon as they told the A&M staff that they're going there, the whole insiders just flipped their predictions to A&M. So that was that whole thing.
What do you mean when the A&M staff was told, or the A&M staff told who?
I mean, whenever LJ told Texas that he wasn't going to be going there, I think that's when something got out and
Oh,
everyone started public, and I kind of felt bad for that because I had no idea that had happened until like the day after he signed. So that was bad. That was bad. It was a bad look
for who and for what?
for
What do you?
Texas because the whole thing about it was like as soon as they believed that he had signed that day to A&M, they told Texas staff, and so everyone was thinking that Texas staff told someone, and then it got 24/7 or something like that, or those websites, and those whole predictions just flooded in. So
Hmm.
that's why going to the sign day, everyone kind of knew it was A&M. But that's gonna happen, and then Tunmise, I had known for a while that was gonna happen. Him and Shemar both, I knew that for a while that they're going to be there. But Tunmise, I think a whole May, like the May before that signing day, I was saying while he was coming to Ohio State, like he's going to be an Aggie, like he's gonna find a way to be an Aggie.
Hmm.
And I kept on trusting it. I kept on keeping my contact open to Tunmise, and they decommitted. And then I think it was sometime in like December that year, December October, I believe he sent in a group chat with all me and the recruits that he was going to go to A&M. So he just had to keep it quiet the whole time. And then eventually everyone started catching on.
How long did you know for?
I can't remember when he signed, but I knew for about 3 or 4 months before. I knew for a while because both him and Shemar had said on the same day that it was going to be A&M.
Hmm.
The whole group chat of like a bunch of commits at the time.
That's interesting that they did that so far out and then stuck
Hmm.
with that for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Because it was at a point where everything started going our way, recruiting wise. I think once they hopped onto that train, they never had a reason to hop off. Shemar kept on getting recruited by Alabama really hard, and as well as Texas. Texas was there the whole way. And then once Tunmise kind of committed, I kind of knew that one was over with. I'm not quite sure who else was going for that one. I think Ohio State, once he decommitted, they kind of backed off a little bit on him. I'm not sure who else was pursuing him to signing day. I think Oklahoma was, but that's it. That I know of at least.
Yeah, certainly any of those top guys are kind of big deal, especially from what I pay attention to on keeping some guys in state. And
Mm-hmm.
to Miche, with the decommitment from Ohio State, like if we got to keep this guy home. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're moving to, right? But, Alabama's recruiting hard. You said they were going after Shemar real hard, and for him to stick with that and stay with that and stay in Texas, I think shows his wisdom, and he's wise beyond his years.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, so in each one of their commits, I would, maybe besides Bryce Foster, I'm sure Henderson was kind of a big deal in that one. Is Terry Price was he a big deal for Shemar and Tunmise?
Oh yeah, I'm for Tunmise. I'm pretty sure he was the main guy. For Shemar, I'm pretty sure it was the main guy for him as well. But Tommy Robinson, I think the whole staff was on both of them. I think for both of them, that was the whole staff. But Terry Price is involved in nearly everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think other than Price, I think the one guy that's involved in everything is Elijah Robinson. I think he's in every single call. He's a lot of the offers that you'll see at receiver or tight end or quarterback or whatever. You'll see at the position like Daryl Dickey, and then you'll see Elijah Robinson because he was also in the call or something like that. So he's just very involved in it all.
Was it about a year ago, I think, Penn State was going after Elijah, right? And I was like, I want to see some 247 crystal balls on where they think he's going to go, Penn State, or if he's going to stay with us. I knew that was his alma mater, right? I'm like, I was watching that, but just about as close as I watch a recruit when they're getting, if they plan things out and you can watch it and you can see and follow the updates. I was following that closely. I love that guy.
That was scary. I know that was because that's where he graduated college from.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the big worry about it, and that he probably would have a bigger role there. But I think we moneyballed him. We moneyballed him, kept him home. So that was huge because if we didn't keep Robinson, that class wouldn't be nearly the same. I don't think.
Well, it's almost like there's a bit of a trend going on, and I really hope it continues. I mean, I know there's going to be some mix up at some point, especially if we, continue winning things like Orange Bowls and stuff like that, right? But was it it's Kansas, right, that made a pretty hard run at Elko in the last few months?
Oh, yeah.
So, Penn State going after Robinson, he stays home. Alabama trying to hit Shemar real hard, he stays home. Elko stays home. So, I mean, I know we've had a couple leave for some things, and a lot of those tend to make sense like that, closer to home or something like that. But when those guys stay home, I think it really shows their belief in the program. You get that same vibe?
Yeah. I think that's part of the thing with Jimbo Fisher is that whenever they come, most of those guys, when they come to the program, they don't have as good as a resume, but whenever they're leaving A&M, they have a much higher role than most people would have ever thought coming into A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like Elijah Robinson. He came from Temple, and now he's getting DC offers everywhere. He has Mike Elko, who's probably going to get a really good school, probably be head coach somewhere really good next year, if he does choose to leave. So that'll be interesting, but it's insane how much Jimbo Fisher has changed, especially the coaching staff quality.
Yeah. So, we talking about a lot of these coaches and what they bring to the table. I read recently where ex-Alabama player, I believe, Marlon Humphrey was talking about A&M and just how the campus and the facilities were just basically the best. Now, of course, he still paid his due to his alma mater, right? And so he still make the same decision. Very good way to roll that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's true, but are commits citing facilities, those kinds of things on a regular basis as reasons why they're going? Is it a deciding factor? Or is it maybe more of a prevention factor if you don't have them?
I think it's probably the prevention thing. I don't think as a recruit, I don't think anyone is going there for the facilities, but I think that's a big thing that they do look at, especially the nutritional system at A&M. They have a whole really good staff there. That's something that A&M does use actively in recruiting. They say all that, and then you have all that room. Like the whole team can be solo practicing, just one-on-one guys, and you have extra room. I mean, those facilities do make a lot more of a difference. And I know there was one guy last class. I can't remember his name, but he was like sold on those, and that's what made us get into the list at the beginning, because we're at the beginning of it, we weren't really in it, and we got into that list just for that sole reason because we were on him, and he really liked it. He had never been to College Station before, and he ended up signing with us.
So it's maybe fair to say like the facilities can like break you, maybe get you off the list and or get you on the list, but they don't necessarily get you into the top 3.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I mean, of course we have, alumni, the school have invested a lot so that we could get these things, and
Yeah.
over time it looks like it's paying dividends. We're getting in the mix. I mean, there's been quite a few guys dropping some top eights and some top tens
Mhm.
and stuff, and I'm like, okay, excited to see that. I think it looks like there's even a few more 5 stars that are starting to, roll in that way.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about uh, June and the excitement that's coming with all the release of the recruits, as I like
Yeah.
to maybe refer to it, since they can start taking visits again, right?
Uh-huh.
And you say, I took a double take the first time you told me something like 22 5-star recruits are planning to be on A&M's campus in the month of June.
Through 2022 and 23. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
through June 22 and June 23rd, all in like
through just the whole month of June,
Hmm.
2023 and 2022 class kids.
Oh, okay. So it does include 23.
Yeah.
Okay. But either way, I'm like, that's a lot of 5-stars. And,
Yeah.
just to land even 3 would be what a bit of an uptick. Who'd we have this last class? Shemar.
We had Shemar. Tunmise ended up as 1. LJ got dropped for whatever reason. Bryce somehow didn't be a 5-star. I think we only had 2.
I'll check while we're discussing, but yeah, I think it was somewhere right around there. I think Banks was a 4-star still.
Yeah, he was 4-star.
So,
Kendall Daniels made that. I think he was top 50. I mean, he's gone now, but we signed a top 50 safety there.
Yeah, so that's exciting. And like I said, to land 2 or 3, I think in the last, I need to double check this. I think maybe in the last, since we've been in the SEC, we have had 1 class of 2 with 2 5-stars per 247. Maybe it was there was 1 class with 3. I may be getting that one off or whatever, but I think that's been it. So even to just repeat a 3 and even slide in there with a 4th or something would be, I mean, I just think monumental, progress. So getting them on campus has got to be huge. Just sit them down in front of some barbecue with Terry Price.
Oh yeah.
And the deal's done. Let's get also, because I want to kind of flesh this one out one more time too, because I think it's real important for others that are going to be listening to this to really hear, because one of the things that we do maybe get, and I'm not afraid of criticism, because the point is that if we know what it is, we can get better, right? But you hear somewhat regularly, would you say, and maybe you can speak to the frequency before you kind of confirm, right? But that if there's any knock on A&M, there's not as much to do in town as there might be in say Austin. Let's just say Austin.
Yeah,
is that about right?
It's a lot more to do at Austin. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's quite A&M's problem to fix. I think it's kind of more as people of Bryan and College Station. I think that's something that's going to get better over time. And I think a lot of people have started to realize that, and they've started to find ways to get rid of that negative piece, kind of make it into a positive. But right now, I think that's the one thing about A&M that kind of scares some guys off, is that once you get there, you'll have fun for like maybe a month or 2, but once you do that, you've kind of done everything. So, yeah, I mean, I was thinking of since the last time we recorded, I was thinking about ways how to possibly fix that. I couldn't think of anything, even though I'm not decisions. But
well, the alumni base is creative, and I'm sure they'll figure out some ways and some things. As they're cooking up ideas. I agree. It's not the university's place to go try and fix those things. It's my place, say your place, or those whoever other Aggies have graduated and are in town already. And each time I drive in town, there's something new there. Now I'm going down University, and there's that huge student complex there.
Oh yeah,
it looks almost like, I mean, not as fancy as a hotel in Vegas, but like just the sheer volume of that thing, is amazing. And then you've got academic buildings, and to the left that are architecture is amazing. I think it's coming along. Of course, I think it will continue that way. And,
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better over the last few years. I was talking to my dad about it after the last one, and he said like he went down 2 years ago, and it looked a lot better than whenever he was in college. So I think that's probably a positive, and I think that gives a little bit of hope about it, because whenever I go down there each year, I see a lot more stuff. I'll give it that. Like you see a lot more stuff, especially like restaurants and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just a little piece of it, but it really does. It changes the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for somebody to put in a Top Golf. I mean,
oh yeah, that'd be.
I feel like it's inevitable. I don't know what somebody's waiting on. I mean, if I had the cash, I'd do it tomorrow.